Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. I have 5 stories for you that stretch across the spectrum. The first is from the Financial Times in London. The Fidelity International, they are on top of it. They begin exploring blockchain. The fund managers have launched a game that allows the staff to simulate trading cryptocurrencies with cash prizes for the top performers. They are going to get a wonderful education. Of the 8,000 employees, there are 1,200 that are trading. They are going to have some deep knowledge in regards to how different cryptocurrency is from the ordinary financial products. I do think, though, whoever thought of this strategy for education was really thinking. And then this story has me scratching my head. The majority of the Generation Zers, that is, in this case, age 13 to 21, the Business Insider did a survey of 1,884 young Americans, and gosh, only 5% of this Generation Z group would likely buy virtual currencies. And it's not because they feel negative on it. It's because they lack the knowledge. And why I think that this is so sad is that as adults, I think we have failed this generation. So many of them are going to get stuck in these minimum wage service jobs, and life can be very cruel when you can't break out of that. When you compare to the survey that was done by the consulting firm DeVere in December 2019, they targeted 700 billionaires, and they showed that 68%, more than 2/3, had already invested in cryptocurrencies. And you and I both know that it is not because they don't have money, because it doesn't take but $20 or $30 to get started in this space. So I really feel that we have failed in bringing the education to this group, which the timing right now is so important, because by the time they do become aware, it might not be nearly as attainable as it is today. And there's some big news in Japan. From 6 p.m. to this evening, DMM made XRP available paired to the Japanese yen. So this is pretty exciting because I think it's going to bring in some new, fresh investors. This app has been downloaded 700,000 times. That is really impressive. And you can see that they are going to do the in-kind handling, which means they don't have a live board. So they are in the same situation as SBI VC Trade until they launch and implement their live board, but they are going to handle XRP in that same fashion. I want to show you the poster girl for this company. This is Rolla. Her real name at birth was Eddie Sato. And Eddie is called Rolla for her talent name. And Rolla is interesting. She's, of course, beautiful. She has a really cute personality. She's funny. She plays this kind of, she's very smart, but she plays like she is a little bit, uh, a little bit dingy, but she's not at all. But that's kind of her, her, we call it neta. That's her blank in English. That's the character that she plays. Anyway, she's a fashion model, and that's how she got started. But now she does a lot of different kinds of talent. Her mom was Japanese and Russian. Her dad is from Bangladesh. Her parents divorced, so she was raised by her stepmother, who is Chinese. And here she is growing up in Japan. I mean, talk about a diverse background. And she has been on every billboard available in Tokyo with this ad. This is what really put her on the map for crypto. This is DMM and their campaign to get 1,000 yen when you open up a new account. Anyways, this is This is everywhere. If you come to Tokyo, you're going to see her on billboards all throughout the city. This is in Shibuya, and here she is here. Shibuya is where she was found. She was just walking the streets, and as a young girl, and was asked if she wanted to do modeling, and she said yes, and then she did the Tokyo Girls, what is it? It's a big fashion show. Tokyo Girls Fashion. I'm not sure what the fashion. It's a big fashion show that happens in Tokyo every year, and from that moment on, she was discovered, and she has had a wonderful career. She's only 29, so I think she has still a long career ahead of her. All right, and then if I show you another sentiment tool, as most of you know, I'm really attracted to these kinds of sites because, yeah, TA is okay, but I think sentiment is a little bit stronger indication when it comes to the cryptocurrency space, at least right now with the market cap the size that it is. This is called the TIE, and prices fluctuate rapidly, and the market forecast is really difficult to predict in this space. And more the sentiment tools or the emotional analysis are being used, and the TIE analysis uses Twitter, and they use this data from all over the world. There are some 850 million tweets every day, and they did a special report that they started on June 28th to July 5th. And this report was done for BTC, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, and BCH. And it's interesting that Litecoin had the most positive tweets. 71.6% were positive, and no doubt because they've had some really great price action recently. The US has the highest number of posts, more than 30% from the whole entire world, so they dominate the crypto space in Twitter. BTC had positive sentiment coming out of Peru, Uganda, Bangladesh, Croatia, and Kazakhstan, but had negative sentiment coming from Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Brazil, Venezuela, and Argentina. And then when they tallied up the sentiment for XRP, the positive tweets came from Singapore, Brazil, Croatia, Turkey, and Sweden. And the negative came from Mexico, South Africa, Belgium, Nigeria, and Japan. Oh, but just since I have been looking at this today, we have moved out of neutral and just barely into positive right now. So it's interesting. I just really like it. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I like the Twitter feed because you can really see oh, look at that. DMM adds Ripple for cash trading XRP JPY. Yeah, so that story is gaining some traction on Twitter now. This is big because of the pairing for the yen. That is going to definitely have some positive impact. And then what I really like is this word chart, because you can see here, the red indicates negative tweets, the green is positive, and for XRP, in terms of Twitter word frequency, Joel Katz is at the top. It's interesting. Yeah, anyway, so I won't take too much time in this video to look at everything that they have, but if you are like me, you can spend about an hour on a site like this. Okay, everybody, we are going to jump to the fluff. Those were your 5 stories for today, and what I want to tell you about is Uber's CEO says the elderly people are fueling its efforts to ramp up food delivery in Japan. This is a story that is really being talked about over the last couple of days because Uber has a very unique strategy for Japan. This is the CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, and Uber's biggest shareholder, as you might know, is SoftBank, and they are in Japan. It's the company that actually gave the seed capital to SBI. It is somebody that Mr. Kitao used to work for, and now Masayoshi Son is the richest man in Japan. He owns 13% of Uber, which is about $10 billion right now. And the CEO is signing up the elderly for its Uber Eat couriers. The Eats has become a huge success in Japan, as he has said in this article. More than 10,000 restaurants are connected, and they have 15,000 couriers as a part of the network, and they are working in just 10 cities. So you can see the growth. They've only really reached 15% of the population thus far, so they have a huge amount of growth opportunity still yet to grab. Most, of course, use bicycles or scooters, but in Japan, the elderly are doing it on foot. And I think it might seem strange to you, but actually we have such high density in the population neighborhoods here that you can walk just for 5 minutes in a radius. And gosh, I don't know exactly the breakdown, but you can do a lot of household deliveries in just 5 minutes in any direction because of the density. So it's not that surprising. And I think the elderly, according to these articles, want the exercise, and I think they want something to do, and everybody wants a little pocket money. So the Uber Eats has expanded to all 23 wards. Tokyo is made up of 23 neighborhoods. Those 23 neighborhoods are the original neighborhoods that existed 400 years ago when Tokyo was called Edo. And it's just great because when they first came here, it was just in like 2 wards. I think it was Shinjuku and Shibuya. But now you can get the Uber Eats, and I see them all the time in my neighborhood, all the time. And what do you think is the most popular item? Well, do you have a guess? I'm going to show you. This is maybe one of the most popular items. It's the classic double burger. There are a couple of them that are part of this chain called Golden Brown. Yeah, Golden Brown, and it is a $20 hamburger. Welcome to Tokyo. Tokyo food is not expensive, but there are some things like hamburgers that get the premium price. I'm not sure why, but it does. This is you're looking at a $20 hamburger there. It's actually a little more than $20. But anyway, so I want to just tell you that food delivery, wow, I got really small there. Food delivery is nothing new in Japan. This is an ukiyo-e block print from the Edo period, probably in the maybe late 1600s, early 1700s. And you can see here, this is a person who is walking the street who is they have a lot of teacups here, and they're serving tea. So this is just something that has been done for many years here. And this is actually in the Showa period. This is a Soba delivery being done on bicycle. It's called demae in the Japanese word, and it has been going strong since the 1700s in Japan. Soba, which is the most common delivery in the past, would stack like this and then be carried on bicycles. And one of the big places that they had customer base was in the universities, and that was one of the big customer targets at that time when it was done on bicycle, because you just couldn't call up and get delivery like you can do today. The soba is a buckwheat noodle, and it's eaten cold, so it's very good for delivery. You don't have to keep it hot, and then you can dip it into a sauce. So it was a really easy delivery item. Actually, this is a very fun site. You can see many people doing delivery. Look at that stack on bicycle. Look at that. This is actually donburi. This is a donburi. So that'll be rice on the bottom with, many different things on top. Sometimes pork, sometimes seafood, many different flavors. Look at this. Look at how high this goes. And look at the cars. What is that? I mean, I think people who are into cars, it looks like 19, wow, help me out, 1930s there? Maybe 19, yeah, I'm going to guess 1930s, but people who are car buffs will probably be able to tell me this age of the car, but it looks like 1930s to me. Anyway, that's fun, huh? That's really fun. And then now, today, even today, in a modern city like Tokyo, you can find what's called yatai. These are food stands, and they just pop up at night, and they become sometimes standing restaurants, or sometimes they have their seats too. Let me show you what it looks like. So here is one during the day, all closed up, but at night, it will transform into something like this. This is one that actually you stand at and eat. They are serving ramen. This says ramen here. And I'm sure it's yummy. And they do a good business. So even in this modern city, you can find these on the back alleys and side streets. And this one actually is right in front of Shinjuku Station. They are doing soba, I believe. And it's a little bit larger in terms of being able to serve people, because this woman pops up tables and chairs on both sides. Anyway, in this time of year when the weather is so nice and warm in the summer, the nights, these places are just packed, and they're not expensive at all. Like, you can eat for, $5. So you can get a $20 hamburger, or you can have $5 worth of ramen. I hope you get a chance to try both when you come to Tokyo. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.